Hi, this is Grace. And what this situation that I've been making videos on reminds me of is the dark tetrad. Not the dark triad, but the dark tetrad. There'll be Machiavellianism, psychopathy, narcissism, and sadism. And the whole situation, the things that have happened, I still haven't made videos on some of it. That's what it reminds me of. And to simplify what that is, this is pure evil. I mean, pure evil. No conscience, is it even a real person or just evil? The overt narcissist, really, I've seen it in narcissists. They usually have something something that they're really good at, one thing. It could be their job, and that is where they get a lot of their validation, their praise. And if somebody comes in and says, you've done it wrong, that's a narcissistic injury. You just injured them to them. And then they go into, it's a hell hath no fury kind of thing, and they go into a narcissistic rage. And they will rage at you, and they don't care. They don't care what's going on around them. They don't care who is around the overt. Yeah, they don't care who's around them. You dare to say they were wrong, and they'll have their flying monkeys, if available. They'll be helping them out and raging along with them. And you're going to be at fault, even if it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You're going to be at fault. That I have never known them to be very logical, to be very smart, except that one thing they have dedicated so much of their time to. But other than, also just being narcissistic. Really do make mistakes. They're not going to admit to it. It's your fault, like I said. But my experience with it is that they're usually daydreaming when they make these mistakes. It's difficult sometimes for them to concentrate because they're daydreaming. And often it's about, at least I would think, just what I've heard afterwards. Like if I've seen one daydreaming, what they're dreaming about basically is how special they are, how they are meant to be praised, they're special, they're what kind of fame, fortune, and everything they will receive in one at some point in their life because they're so wonderful. That's to them. That's how they see themselves. Okay. The sadistic part of it is when they get a thrill out of when they do that and the person flinches or gets scared or whatever, or even like has happened to me recently, is that of just getting a headache and start shaking because I'm diabetic and have hypertension, and they get a thrill out of it. They've hurt somebody. Yes, very sadistic, and and like I said, the narcissism and the Machiavellianism. These things you can in a way see that they have already planned in a way. Or they've done it before and they've just improved it. I want to make an intro, this part, an intro to the next video where I go into more detail, well, not detail, but I tell the next story of what happened. And that next story was after that car that I mentioned at the end of my driveway. Now the car wasn't parked, I wouldn't think. It was more in the road, and it was just sitting there. And then it took off when I opened the door. And I mentioned in that video, I was just looking out to see if it stopped raining. And they took that, whomever, man or woman, took off. Now, since they took off like that, they don't know the neighborhood, because right there, not too far, not enough time to really even get up much speed, is a curve. So if they knew the neighborhood, they would know there's a curve right there. You can't go that fast. You're going to run into something. Yeah, they were too busy looking at me, you see. The reason why I said that the neighbor's driveway where people park was empty was because they were gone, and it's a big one. They park 6 automobiles there, okay, and behind each other, but it's still 6. And the reason I said it was because back at it started on Halloween. There was a car parked there on the end of my driveway, legally on the other side of the street, but it made it difficult for us to back out and get in and all that. With the curve, people can't see if they're coming around that curve a little bit too fast, and it's happened before. They've had to, stop short real fast, because we were having to maneuver out. But the short version of this story, I did it on another channel, is that the car, we didn't know it, never seen it before. I don't remember how many days. I think it was 5. I'm not sure. But it was parked there, we think, on Halloween night. It was there, didn't move, nothing for 5 days. It wasn't moved. And on that day, I think it was the 5th day, when I was backing out, I was in Adam's SUV, and I came really close to it, really tight there. So close that I could have put my hand out and touched it. And what I saw was that car was covered with flies. Okay, flies. Yeah, and, a lot of thoughts came to mind, and including days, it was finally moved, I think, the next day. But then something happened here, I don't know how long later, maybe, I don't know, a couple weeks or more. And basically I spoke to the young woman next door, and she basically let out the cat out of the bag that it could have been her brother's, he's an adult too, his friend's car. But then she turned and said, well, no, that doesn't really sound like it. And so I don't know if she was just trying to cover up, why was it there? Because I said it makes it very difficult for us to back out. And I was very nice, just basically talking like I am now. And so it might have been that. But that's why I mentioned that it was that they were gone, because if somebody, was going to park, they would park there. The next video is going to be about after, not that situation with the flies and all, but after that car had just sped off once I opened up the door and all that. This happened that same day, later on. It was raining, and it was later on in the day, so I'm going to tell that story on a different video. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. If you want to subscribe to this channel and you haven't already, you can click the circle icon. If you want to watch another video, you can click one of the rectangles, or it might be a playlist. Like, subscribe, comment, and share on your own social media if you would, and I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.